Welcome to EFT MBA Mastering Business Acumen with the help of EFT business experts. Learn the marketing, mindset, and skill set you need to create the EFT coaching practice of your dreams. Visit www.eftmba.com for more information. And now, here's the EFT training team that embodies the art and science of EFT. Alina Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show today. I'm Alina Frank, and I'm always here with my partner most of the time, Craig.
Always most of the time?
No,
I
just realized I can't remember the last time that I did this show on my own.
Good.
So we are this episode of the EFT MBA podcast is really about something that you may have heard us talk about. We've written on it extensively. We spend a lot of time in the EFT MBA program on this. And we even had, I went back and looked, Craig, I think we did have like a free call, an evening call or webinar on this topic as well. But here we are again because you, EFT coach, need to hear it again. I see this with my EFT business clients all the time. They're still making the same mistake, and it's not your fault. You just haven't learned that this isn't the route to go if you really want to succeed, and certainly if not if you want to see six figures in your business. So what is a niche or a niche, and why should we have one? Craig, why don't you start by describing, let's go through what this actually means.
Okay. So when we talk about a niche, we're talking about a specific category with which you are specializing in and with which you are seen as an authority in and with which you are focusing on a specific demographic, which might be a population, a specific problem. It might be any of these and all of these, a specific demographic, an age, a gender, a profession, a particular problem or complaint, or a combination of them, that creates a specific group of people that have a specific problem that they're seeking a solution for, that you are aiming to be the go-to person for them to find to be able to get relief from the problem that they're having. And so it's might be called a specialty, but when we're talking about a niche, it's actually more than a specialty, because you might specializing in working with a particular type of problem, but your niche is really the demographic of people that are going to find you and how you reach them, market to them, have it be so they find you. Is that good?
Right. Yeah. So I guess what I want to say is if we can just drill it down to a question or two that you're answering is who are you stating, who are you claiming that you work with? So who is it that you work with, and what problem do they need to solve? And especially a burning question or issue, set of problems that they have that keeps them up in the middle of the night, meaning it is so painful for them to be experiencing this that they will pay you good money in order to get your assistance, guidance, expertise in resolving.
Yeah, and you know what I want to add is why is it so important? You know, people are going, yeah, but you know what? I'm an EFT practitioner, so I can help all kinds of things. Why it's so important, especially from a business perspective, to develop this kind of clarity that Alina was just speaking of, is you want to not only be the authority, you want to stand out. So if you're just putting yourself out there as the EFT practitioner that can help people that are looking to get healthier or have a better life or be happier, you're not going to stand out because there's hundreds, if not thousands, of EFT practitioners doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be the person that stands out. You know, ideally, you are the one EFT person that's helping people with this one particular problem, so they're looking to you. So in other words, when we're speaking about niche, We're looking at it to help us stand out, especially in the world of the internet and SEO. We're looking to stand out in our community. We're looking to be the go-to authority and person that can help them. So we're really looking at it from a marketing perspective of how do they see you, find you, respect you, be curious about you. And that's really, from a business perspective, really important.
So I wanted to say here that I'm often asked when is it appropriate to say that you're an EFT coach and lead with that, have a conversation about that. Right. And there are very few times that I would say that it is appropriate to do that in. Now,
that's gonna shock. You're gonna have to say that again, because that's gonna shock a lot of people. What do you mean?
Okay, here is one of the times that a made up scenario where I could see that this would be okay. You'd get Alina's gold star if you did it in this particular scenario. You go into a marketing meetup, or if you go into a some kind of group that is to get together for people that are in business, some kind of like a networking group for
business.
Wait, here. Hold on, I haven't finished.
All right. Okay.
Only for alternative healthcare professionals.
Wow, that's specific.
Oh, wow, yeah, yes. And I would even say I'd have to really know what the purpose of this gathering would be. There are ways that you can still create a niche and be able to speak about your niche in that setting that would get you clients tomorrow. I don't think the absolute best way is to go in there and say you're an EFT coach. In that one very, very specific scenario, here's where I would do it. If I were invited to speak in front of a group of mental health care, licensed mental health care professionals looking for continuing ed, I provide continuing ed in my EFT training, so that's what I would talk about. But imagine a scenario where you walk into a networking group, and Craig, you asked me what I do for a living, and I told you I'm an allopathic medical practitioner. Would that be enough for you to know what I do?
Yeah, I go, okay.
If I told you though that I'm a dentist, what comes to mind? What What problems am I solving?
Well, I could probably come to you if my teeth hurt. I'm not sure if you do any cosmetic stuff, but I know that if my teeth hurt or I need a cleaning or I need an exam, that I could come to you.
Yeah. How about if I asked you what you do, and let's say at the Rotary here on Whidbey, what would you tell people that you do?
Well, if I told people
right now, yes, a chiropractor.
Right. So if I told people right now as a chiropractor, they would have at least their vision for what I could help them with. Oh, if I have back pain, you could probably help me. Or if maybe maybe they think, well, maybe if you got spine or neck pain or headaches, you could probably help me with it. So they have some clear ideas of what I do as soon as I said that word. Boom.
Yes. And so the day when you can walk into a general chamber of commerce, or a Rotary, or some mainstream organization meet and greet, and you can walk in there and say, I'm an EFT coach, and everyone, or a good percentage of the room, people know what that is the day that you can do that. But until then, you're opening up a big can of worms that's really a big disservice to getting clients. That's what we want with this. Of course you're doing EFT.
Are you saying if you walked into a chamber meeting and you said, I'm an EFT coach, people aren't going to know what you do or what you can help them with?
No friggin'
How many?
clue.
Like
no
one,
clue.
right?
Maybe.
Like maybe one person there.
You know, I would say more because we actually live in a small town and people know what we do. However, if I'm going and on day one and I just moved here and nobody knows me, I would shut my mouth about what that is. Shut my mouth. There's no point. Oh gosh, I have to share this story. Okay, I just remembered this story, and I actually said to this person, I'm going to use that. There was a friend of mine who was stopped at a customs at like the border patrol or customs or whatever, getting from one country to another, and the customs agent was really giving them a hard time. And so my friend is an NLP master, and he thought, what's the easiest way for me to just like finish this conversation, have the guy stamp my passport, and move on? And he said, I'm going to tell him I'm going to an EFT training. And so that's exactly what he did. He said, and of course, what happens many of you have been in this scenario where somebody says, well, what is that? You say, EFT, what is that? And you think you have them, but no, this is exactly what happens to them is the same thing that happened to this border agent. The border agent says, so what is that? And my friend goes on and on and on and on. Meridians, energy fields, blah, blah, blah. And within short order, this border agent who was about to say, you really don't have everything proper that you need to get through here, immediately stamped everything and said, go on, have a nice time. Okay? So this is what we're talking about. We don't want people to glaze over. We want them to be interested to see in the back of their mind if, boy, I know somebody that you could help, or you can help me because I have that problem, or I know someone in my family, or give me your card in case I run into someone that does have that problem. But okay, so there are other so that's the what. Really, that's the what of it. And like I said, we're going to squeeze all this information that we've spent months working with in our MBA program and just give you the real nuggets here for you to ponder. So, Craig, besides not boring your audience to death and not looking like you've got some weird woo-woo vibe, please tell us why. What other reasons are there? Why should I have one?
Why should you have a niche?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, I went over several of them, but you want to succeed. You want to be able to connect with people quickly so that you find the people that are needing your services and what you do. And they need to recognize and know that you understand them, that
right.
They feel heard, like you can help them with their specific problem. I don't care if you can make people happy. I don't care if you can make happy relationships. But you know what? I've got this problem that I want to know you know about this. You're an expert with this. You're the best person in this that understands this. So when I tell you about this, you get me.
Yeah, and when...
Well, let me just finish. And the only way that they're going to know that, because this isn't going to necessarily most of the time be in person, this is going to be through your website, through your Facebook post, through your newsletter, through your whatever way that you're putting you out there in the world. They need to get that sense from the communication that you're being that specific. So if on your business card or your blog, I treat this and this, and I work with this and this and this and this, they're not going to feel like they're special. You really get them. They're going to think you do everything. Okay, I don't want an everything. I want somebody that knows me, and they're going to keep moving on. So it needs to be represented in all the ways that you're out there in the universe and the social media world.
Specifically, what I wanted to underscore about what you said, though, is that there's just no way SEO-wise, search engine optimization-wise, Google ranking-wise, that you're going to get very far. You're going to die. You're going to wither on the vine. You're going to fade away into oblivion, unfortunately.
Well, page 14 on Google is not too bad, is it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Who's ever gone past page 1? Raise your hand right now. I want you to raise. That one time last year you went past the first page of Google. not too
Yeah.
many people do.
Yeah. All right. So questions to consider when deciding on a specific niche is what fills you with passion? What are you really passionate about? Note which types of clients you're working with that are really energizing. The kind of clients that you look at your clock at the end of an hour or 90 minutes and the time just flew by, because lo and behold, the clients that are the ones that hopefully you're going to pick to specialize in, and the ones that that you're passionate about helping, guess what? Those are the people that you actually do your best work with anyway, because you're in that total zone. And also ask yourself, who in particular am I really good with? What sorts of problems am I really good with? And the other question is, pay me for? What is the pain point that people will pay me for? Other ideas, what's on your bookcase? What articles are you drawn to reading regularly? What do you stand for? All of these are really there to clarify who it is that you're working with, and then who you'd like to work with and set out as your niche. And what problem are they seeking help for? That's the next step, is asking what problem they need to just like they're burning to get to Google to ask questions about and get answers for. Do they want examples of that are people that want a romantic relationship, groups of people that are looking for a fulfilling career, look at people that are wanting to make more money or overcome a particular illness, or to deal effectively with the death, and making all of these can be more specific, like in this case, the death of a child. Very different than the death of a spouse. Very different than the
Right.
death of a parent.
Boy, and
And
wouldn't
so,
somebody think that working with people in grief was a niche right there?
Mhm. Mhm.
And the answer is
I don't know. No.
yeah,
No.
right.
No.
Because you're not going to
So
find them all. Yeah, go ahead.
you're not going to find them all where?
You're not going
At
to
the
find
same
them in one
place.
place. You want to be able to be seen as the person to go to for somebody, if it was that topic, that works with people
Yes.
who've lost a child. And you know what? How many of those have happened? Thousands and thousands and thousands.
Sure.
Right? So there's a lot of people out there in any one of these categories, but you want to tighten it enough that people feel like, wow, they really get me.
Right. And so the other question to ask yourself is, what is it about me that can be and should be the person out there speaking about this? So, in a particular case, overcoming the grief around the loss of a child. Let's say that you did lose a child. Then that would certainly make you the go-to person, and that you've lived it, or you've helped a really close friend with it. So sometimes a niche finds you rather than you going out and finding it.
Right. Yeah, true.
All right, and then once you do have that niche, you better do some research. You better figure out, well, typically is their income bracket. Are they typically married or single? What movies do they go watch? Spend some time fantasizing about that. What do they do for a living? And you can make a whole composite of your ideal client. And I know people, and I did a while ago. I used to have a picture of a typical client, and it was some magazine or something, a picture of a woman dressed in a particular way, and I had a whole story about her, and I had a picture of her on my desk. That was my ideal client. So let's talk about why, when all business and marketing experts out there are just saying you have to do this, nichify or fade away. Craig softened it. I came up with the title of the show, Nichify or Die. And he said, no.
You did.
He's more gentle. Okay, so when everyone out there is telling you you've got to do this, why are EFT coaches in particular having such a hard time doing this? And so we've identified some fears, and these are fears that are definitely tappable. So what are they?
Okay. How about first that, that you're scared you're going to choose the wrong one.
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh my God, what if I pick that one? Nothing happens. It doesn't work.
Yep.
It's just I'm scared that I'm going to pick the wrong one, and I'm getting really nervous that I just can't choose. There are too many things I'm interested in I can't pick.
Right. It's the fear of choosing the wrong one definitely is a big one that I see with my EFT business students. So for sure, tap on that and go back to the times where you'd made the wrong decision, because it could very well go back to that. And there aren't any wrong decisions. There are detours. The wrong decision led you to. Okay, I don't want to get too far down there.
I was going to say, so what happens if you make a wrong decision? Let's just say that you choose a niche, and for whatever reason, it doesn't ring true for you, or it doesn't hold excitement after. Should you hold the niche forever? Even if it feels right or wrong. How do you work with that?
Well, here, let's go to the second fear then, which is that you're afraid that you're going to be bored out of your mind, or that because you're only going to be working with one thing forever. Raise your hand if you have done an EFT session that didn't go beyond the presenting issue for the client, meaning they came in wanting to work on abundance issues, and you only worked on money and their bank account and nothing else, no other area of their life.
Nobody.
Raise your hand if that has ever happened. Never does it happen. So that fear, you can just completely give up. Just tap on it if you have that fear, because the reality is, and you can look at the clients that you've worked with in the last month, and you'll know that you're never going to be boxed in like that. Okay, so 3.
Okay, how about let's see. How about that you're scared that your niche is just going to be too small. There's not enough people in that niche for me, right?
Yeah.
If I pick something too small, oh, my God, what about all those millions of other people that aren't going to look at me now because I am the specialist that works only with squash players?
No.
Or whatever.
No, there are some niches that you want to work with that people won't pay you for. And that's different, and you have to really be clear about which ones those are. However, if you've checked that off your list, yes, this is a population who can get the money or has the money to pay me well to do what I want to do, and are willing to pay for it. Then there is no such thing. There is no such thing as being too small, and we have plenty of people out there that are really touting the message of micro niche, because there are enough people on the planet to support anything if it makes sense, and if people are struggling with, there is a group that wants you. And in fact, the smaller and more specialized you become, the more you can actually make in terms of what you charge and the people that are attracted to you. It's crazy. It's just opposite of what you think when you first start out. And I struggled with this. Oh my gosh, I struggled with this. And this was a hobby, because at the end of the year with tax season, I would look on my tax return of how much money I used to make, and it was ridiculous. It was a hobby. And the IRS saw it as that after a while. So I was struggling until I finally realized that I had to do this. I struggled so long. So I know that all these are very real fears, and I also know they're very tappable. And the other one, the fourth one that we've listed here, is the fear that you are still struggling with the challenge yourself. So let's say that you want to help. The example we've been playing around with, grief over losing a child, and you're still grieving over the loss of your child. And so you don't feel like you are completely fixed, and therefore how can you help other people? Or if you've got a weight issue, but you want to be, some kind of let me say, the more people out there doing your particular niche, like weight loss, you've got to find your particular voice within this and your particular subset in this. So let's say that you figure that out with weight loss, and it happens to be women that are losing weight to lose weight for the wedding day. Let's just say that. That's a very, very specific niche. And you're still struggling with weight issues yourself. So if you have a fear that you can't be the authority because you have the challenge, you actually have your finger on the pulse of what people struggle with. And don't waste that time struggling with your problem and not writing about it. That's a perfect time to be journaling and tapping, of course, but also be writing down the problems and what your struggles are. And because that's great material to put on blogs and radio and podcasts and articles and all sorts of great marketing material.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Okay.
So, in summary, basically,
yes.
I think really what we want to say is, despite the fear and the resistance of getting specific, it's so important. Another good example that came up is if somebody asks me, Craig, do you know somebody who works with, let's just say, menopausal women that are going through a change in life and relationship and looking to recreate themselves? And I mean, on one hand, I think there's probably not an EFT practitioner that couldn't work with that.
Right.
But I can tell you, as soon as somebody asks that, and I can think of somebody, oh my God, I know somebody that's like what they do all the time.
Right.
I am likely, especially if it's in another area or something, and that's not really my niche, and I things are well for me. I don't have to feel. The first thing I'm thinking is that person. Oh,
right.
I know Joan is fabulous. That's like all she does is she writes, she works with, she does workshops. She's got a book on on that subject. I've got one single person in my head that I'm referring to.
And if that person doesn't live in your geographical area, don't you think that person that you're speaking, you're telling this about to, will go to them anyway? We'll set up phone, Skype, whatever kind of coaching is available.
Yep.
And that's something
Absolutely.
else to say is that in your local market, maybe you can be known as an EFT coach. On the web, it's no way. There is no way. And even the EFT certified practitioners directories get very little traffic in terms of people actually following through. The people that have really done well once they're certified and get listed are, guess what? Those people that have specialized.
Mm-hmm.
And have been able to submit articles and things into, I'm thinking of EFT Universe, where I know people that have just made careers on just submitting stories on their particular niche, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. All right.
So here we are at the end of another wonderful, juicy 30 minutes. We know that we like to keep our podcast short because you've got things to do and lives to live, but we really appreciate you tuning in and listening to us, and we hope that we've helped you kind of demystify this whole area of niching.
Nichifying. Okay.
Okay. So we will see you in a couple of weeks, and until then, remember.
Great. Keep on and tapping. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to EFT MBA with Elena Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner. To get your free report on the 5 secrets to create a rockin' EFT practice and to learn more about the EFT MBA program, visit www.eftmba.com.